Hey guys, I was just in a live chat with one of the researchers that appears on the TV show The Curse of Oak Island. His name is Court Lindahl. He just had a live chat, and at the end of the live chat, he told me to tread lightly, so I pulled this up so I could see if that had an association with the Freemasons, because this is what he was showing. Okay, so Court was on this show that's called History Hunters Podcast, the Hellfire Club of Sir Francis Dashwood, Benjamin Franklin, and blah blah blah. So during the beginning of this talk, he mentioned Santiago and Calatrava. So he's talking about Templars and Freemasons and secret societies and things of that nature. So I asked him, can you tell us more about Santiago Calatrava and how Reading's Sundial Bridge is connected? The next question that I posted that they responded to said, so Sundial Bridge is a penis, vagina, womb, semen, and seed. So the Sundial Bridge is Baphomet worship. This is the time that he told me that I needed to tread lightly as to my interpretation of things.
Sure, it can be, unless you're aware enough to, keep your head straight, which I know a lot of you are, that you just never know what might be real or not, or might be spun one way or another using the same kind of things we're talking about. I mean, this is one thing I like about George Maxwell, who passed away a few years ago. He pointed this out even.
Okay, in Court's video, when he's talking about these octagon buildings, it's the exact same thing as what Bethel's alabaster prayer house is. It does not look the same from the sky, because from the sky, it looks like the Sephiroth tree for the Tree of Life for the New Agers. But the inside of Bethel's alabaster prayer house is the same octagon as all of these octagons that Court talks about.
The interesting places it quote points to on the globe is Baalbek, Lebanon, and the hexagonal forecourt of Baal.
Okay, we're skipping the octagon. Okay, in this section right here, he's going to talk about how all the octagonal buildings match each other.
The octagonal structure that all of these are copying. And here we go. It points straight to the Tower of the Winds of Athens, the original octagonal structure that all of these are copying. And it even seems to, it's close to matching one of the fast.
Okay. Just so you know, that compass up in the top right-hand corner can be interchanged with a Freemason's square and compass. And when you see the IXXI at the bottom right-hand corner of this video, it means that they are Templars. You are welcome to go and look those things up. All you have to do is put in IXXI into Google, and you will come up with what this is. So this is who's teaching what's going on right now.
Which is interesting too, Show, but you have a picture of that somewhere. The layout was, or some people may have some odd interpretations of that, from a standpoint of symbology, that it does resemble, certain symbols, and he had it made this way intentionally. There's even at one point, from what I read, like an underground stream that crosses through the tunnel that they call the River Styx. So maybe it's even set up like a ritualistic initiation thing where, that are taught.
Sorry, hitting the wrong pause button, not the record button. So there is no closed captioning. I have to stop for a second so that he can be able to, so that I can narrate and talk about what's going on. So he's talking about symbology right now, and he said that this is phallically related.
Knowing these guys, some kind of different liquor you have to pound a few of at each location or whatever, what's going on there. So I can see why people are suspicious of the whole thing. It is kind of elaborate and, you know, could go beyond just intelligence activity or having fun. You know, that's their version of having fun.
The river Styx being involved in the underworld in Hades. And
right.
It would ask for his coin as you cross the river Styx. And,
right. That's a Greek, I think, myth reference, which a lot of we see, you know, a lot of people, Daphne, playing the initiates, I'm sure all those monks of Medmenham Abbey, you know, kind of mocking too, he'd be edgy and ribald.
And I'm a 34, which is Walt Rob. The X's and the 4.
And that.
And then you have white. I mean, how much do you know about the meanings of these? And
Frank, blowing it up so I can read it a little better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look at the children's cave. People will point right at that one right there. You know, river Styx, as I pointed. He referred to all of these things as people's theories as if they were absolutely true. And when I would chase these sources down, it came from a tour guide. So that's one reason I admonish people to always check into things themselves, no matter who you're reading, including me. You know, I try to always look at the sources I use and try to figure out if it's reliable or not. And a few times I found out that it was just made up at a much later date, that it had nothing to do with what happened earlier in history there. So I'm sure this private, you know, I bet there's some original, everybody in the
obvious, you know,
in there. So and it's almost like a.
Or were there any drugs? I'm sure there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean. Oh, right. Okay. Right. It's.
Flash it up.
Shoot.
This question.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. It's interesting. Just the other day.
So the question is, can you tell us more about Santiago Calatrava and how Reading Sundial Bridge is connected?
I saw that they rebuilt the Greek Orthodox Church that was destroyed at Ground Zero. You know, so all this time later, they actually rebuilt this octagonal structure. And the new church was designed by Santiago Calatrava, who's a famous artist in Europe, mostly, or just worldwide, basically, has kind of these ultra-modern designs that are really interesting, and he's built a few sundial bridges around the world, which were always interesting to me because it's a timekeeping device, and the one in Redding, California, that they're asking me about now, exposing Bethel, is asking about, was built to, I mean, in a way, literally put Reading on the map. And it's north-oriented, you know, it's a giant sundial that marks the solstices and equinox. So it's a definite reference to the kind of things I'm talking about with regard to fixing one's position on the globe from a practical perspective, but it does have some kind of spiritual overtones as well. So in that light, it's interesting that his name, Santiago Calatrava, both his first and last name are orders of Spanish knighthood that fought in the Reconquista and the Crusades. So one would guess.
It's really nice that Cord is just backing up my research when he says that, because we've got that. We've got that information inside this video that's called Bethel's Alabaster Prayer House Explained. It's going to show you all the Templar fingerprints, all the Freemason, all the Luciferian fingerprints that this is Venus worship, and Venus is Lucifer. So, this building is the octagon, The same as Santiago Calatrava just built an octagon at ground zero. That's quite interesting. Also, what's interesting is Sean Foyt, Let Us Worship, proof birthed a movement in the womb of the whore of Babylon. This video shows the proof that the designs of Santiago Calatrava are Baphomet worship, and that Sean Foyt, starting his Let Us Worship super spreader campaign, starting underneath of Sundial Bridge, was Bethel's attempt to use magic of the Templars to control the minds of the people.
Their lives to protecting Christians. That references something that you're supposed to maybe go see and try to figure out. First and last name are orders of Spanish knighthood that fought in the Reconquista and the Crusades. So, one would guess that he would know why his name is that. That he was named in reference to that, and he's producing this.
He's referencing Santiago Calatrava, that he should know that his first name and last name each are in correspondence to the Templar knight orders that are in Spain, and as his architectural firm, as its logo, he is using the Calatrava cross of the Templars as his company's logo.
Art and architecture that references something that you're supposed to maybe go see and try to figure out for yourself. And
we're supposed to figure out that it is a penis, vagina, ejaculation, and seed, and that it is Baphomet worship. So court just said, or court's about to say, yes, it is a penis, a vagina, ejaculation. The bridge is white. It's the semen. The vagina is right underneath the penis. The penis is the sundial. Underneath the vagina, there is a hollow spot where you can see where the bridge, you go across the bridge first to the left, and then down, and then up and around the circle, and then you go underneath the bridge. So there is a space underneath the bridge at least 20 feet from the ground to the bottom of the bridge. And then when you go across the bridge to the right, to the top right-hand corner, there is a brass sphere that is supposed to be the seed. So we've got Brian Johnson, who has Goat Lord Farms. We have the Baphomet right here, which is male and female and is part of the Knights Templar. We've got right here Chris Valentin teaching Adam Kadmon Kabbalah. That is that God is male and female, hermaphrodite, and that the Holy Spirit is a female Shekinah, which is the name Lucifer inside this group. Hey, Corey Asbury, Shekinah is Lucifer.
you know. Any other questions out there? We're kind of winding down. I'm here for you.
Throw up a couple comments.
Yeah, I see exposing Bethel. Yeah, you could make those interpretations. The sundial bridge is a penis, vagina, womb, kind of like an Egyptian obelisk is representative of, if you want to go that far in making the interpretation, that the value of it springs from something like that, definitely, in ancient times. I'm not so sure Santiago Calatrava meant exactly that in his, impetus or inspiration for it. So, tread lightly when you're looking at things like that. It's not all bad, but I can see why you would think it was.
So, even court can see why I would think it is. And that's where Sean Foyt started his Let Us Worship tour. And Sean Foyt and all the rest of the New Apostolic Reformation are Freemasons who are trying to get you to worship Lucifer with them. Hey, guess what? Sun went down 15 minutes ago. Shabbat Shalom.